Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, there's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati Bengals. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
It's our time.
Fair.
Watch take the creep.
Now.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
Let's go.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, it's McSorley. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
You ready?
56. Mike's 56. Here it comes.
Bravo.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Double dog. That's the way.
Let's go.
Looking to throw on 1st and 10. Here's McSorley. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Ready.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Ready.
They go play action now with McSorley. Airing one out for Boyd. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
General West.
McSorley, 1st and 10. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Give the sack to Kamoko Toure.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. McSorley sets to pass. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
31's the mic. Watch the twist.
Get it.
Here's McSorley now, 3rd and long. He's going to fire one deep over the... It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Oh, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll give it to Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Go.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
60 yards. Hey.
Come on, QB.
Now.
Mike, 55. Right there.
Look at me. Zipper.
You better bring.
On 2nd and 9. Lock. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A gain there of 21 yards.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to the safety, Jesse Bates. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
Yeah.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. That's how I feel.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. He's got his tight end Fant. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 30.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, it's Lindsey. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Watch twist.
On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
On the ready.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
He's crossing. He's checking cross.
They'll run with Lindsey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Philip Lindsey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point from McManus is good, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd down, McSorley. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now McSorley, airing one out for Boyd, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. This is the tight end Fant. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Leo! Smith!
Locke to throw on 2nd down. And this is Moncrief for the catch. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Too soft.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
On the double.
Mike, 57. Yeah. Right.
Hey.
Hey, we got 3.
Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. Now Joe Mixon. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
We want it. Come to my work.
Here's McSorley to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sua Cravens. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
They cannot hold us down. We're going to keep getting.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
31's the mic. And let's get it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
On first down, right back to Lindsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
60 outlaw.
Let's go, dude.
Yep.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
Got three.
Yeah.
Under 10.
They'll run for it. It's Mack. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. McManus's point after is good, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Bengals drive about to get going. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some...
It's caught inside the 25. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's first and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's McSorley on first and 10. Going for it all. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Intended for Tyler Eifert. Incomplete. Kareem Jackson on the coverage.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Bullock will put this one through, and they take a 17-14 lead. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Man, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Go.
Another run by Lindsey. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Lock going to throw. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. They'll try to run with Lindsey, and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Phillip Lindsay with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Hey, orbit on the
Throwing again on second down. McSorley, he's going to air it. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 39. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Once again, they run with Mixon. Shifts by him, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Mixon with a first down carry. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given him, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Let's go. 50, plant.
Right there in the middle. 55. Watch the screen.
Hit it.
Looking to throw on second down. McSorley got his man. It's Eifert. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Set up. 18 Gator.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Look. Squeeze. 5.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Set, ready. 30 base.
Rabbit.
Get it.
Out of the shotgun, McSorley. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Sean Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Second down, here's an option right. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Hey, Alpha.
Check Mike 21.
Go.
I got him. Hey, check Mike 21. Check Mike 21. Hey, get in the weight room.
5.
McSorley from the shotgun. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Bullock's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within a point. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll move it. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
6-6, pull it high. Hey.
50 cent. Go.
Snap.
They'll run here with Mack, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime.
57's Mike.
Now.
Mike's 57's Mike.
Come on, G.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Watch the slant.
57's a Mike.
Go out.
Guys, escape.
Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now here's Ross. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. It's McSorley. He gets this one to Boyd. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are once again going to retake the lead. So a big play coming up for the Bengals as they'll indeed go for 2. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he will get into the end zone. For the moment, it's 2 points, but there is a flag down. Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Now Bullock to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
No game on this defense, no game.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Ready up.
First down, Denver.
No chance.
Look at me. Zipper.
Throwing on 1st down is Locke. That's complete to Jake Butt. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
To throw it is Locke. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boys.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's a give to Lindsey running right. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Lindsey. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like,
and he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Geno Atkins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, echo.
Here's Locke to throw. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 19.
On the ready.
Locke now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
He's not going to get me.
Pilot, 64, weak. Ready?
They'll run here with Mack. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a one-score game. Now it's Lindsey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. He's back to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked him a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll try and run for it. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
60 outlaw.
25. Check 25. Check 25.
Switch.
Get it.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Tight dog. Tight dog.
Rock it.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Twist.
McSorley sets to pass. He finds Pirine out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10.
Set. 10 Lobo. Hey, wahoo!
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. We own now.
Check. Lucky. 57 to Mike.
Hey, Haywood.
Get that ball. 57's the Mike. Right?
Go. Big grip.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Go. Bravo. Now.
They'll look to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Stop your whining.
Hey, Delta.
57's run.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Locke. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. Locke now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and now it's 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go. This is 60 or. Hey, exit.
57. Mike 57. Let's go, defense.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
And he brings.
57.
Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Cincinnati, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.